Wrapping things up here in Neyland Stadium after Tennessee defeats the Florida Gators 23-17 in overtime. Hey, everybody, I'm Vince Ferrara, Josh Ward from Josh and Swain. Well, these two teams play crazy games, and boy, did it deliver tonight. Wow, woeful offensively for a good part of the game. Another scoreless first half, Josh, but Tennessee gave up a late touchdown, still found a way to win.
Yeah, it can't be simple in a Tennessee-Florida game, but Tennessee found a way to win a game that Tennessee fans have seen the Vols lose way too many times.
Yeah.
And the first half was dreadful. Florida helped Tennessee because the Gators easily could have had more points, but they got in their own way. Tennessee also made plays, like on defense.
Yeah.
James Pierce Jr. makes a play to get the ball out while Mertz is trying to reach toward the end zone. And that's a difference-making play. I don't know that Tennessee wins the game without Pierce making that play. And there are a number throughout. The defense continued to step up. Defense wasn't perfect. Graham Mertz was finding success. His injury, Johnson at running back going down for the Gators, I mean, that benefited Tennessee, no doubt about it.
Right.
But even after giving up the disappointing touchdown that ended up forcing overtime, Tennessee's defense responds right out of the gates in overtime and helped allow Tennessee's offense to figure some things out to score enough points to win.
Yeah, and your points are absolutely right. You know, people watching are saying, well, we lost Keenan Peely. And they did. And that clearly impacted Tennessee. And Josh Heupel in the postgame, hearing him talk about Keenan Peely when he was asked about him and a reflection of how he is, what it means, the ultimate Vol. I mean, I don't know what his status is, but boy, that sounded like someone that was emotional that he might not have his guy for a while.
Right. If they don't, then some younger players have to grow up quickly. Yeah. They'll play even more. So we saw Jalen Smith playing, a second-year linebacker.
Yeah.
T. Lander and Arion Carter have played a lot.
Right.
And
Caleb Perry a little bit.
Caleb Perry.
Yeah.
So those guys will be counted on for sure. But if Tennessee's without Keenan Peely, that's a loss.
Yeah. So, and we don't know. Josh Heupel did not say specifically, but really reflective on what Keenan Peely means to his team, and you saw that in this game. So Tennessee gives up that late touchdown to tie it, and then they weren't able to go ahead and win it in the end of regulation. Goes into overtime. They get a stop on defense. Florida misses the field goal. What do you think about that drive in overtime, where it was a couple of passes initially, and then it was Dylan Sampson to take it home?
Yep. Dylan Sampson is their best offensive player.
Yeah.
He is, in some ways, the heart of Tennessee's football team. Some defenders would factor into that conversation for sure, too. But Dylan Sampson provided a passionate message to the team on the field before the game began. He scored the touchdowns that Tennessee needed to win the game, including the final one. It was the right approach. They could have set up for a field goal, but I think the way that they ran it toward the end zone, they were either going to score a touchdown or then at that point, no, they had a chip shot field goal. So the risk was taken out of it, and it was, hey, Dylan, go score. And they went with the jumbo package, which was effective when they used that, bring in defenders to help with short yardage opportunities.
Yeah, I love the approach too. And then Josh Heupel was also talked about maybe going out of character from what we've seen from him the last couple of games and the way he's had some coaching moves and play calling, going for it at their own 10-yard line on fourth and less than a yard. Nico was asked about it in the postgame. He was like, wait, which fourth and one? Yeah. He didn't remember, but he said he wasn't surprised. Yeah. We were all of us were surprised at that.
Yeah. Tennessee won the game. I'll tell you that going for it there doesn't make any sense to me. I don't. In that situation, we're discussing risk-reward.
Right.
The risk is obvious. If you don't get it, then Florida has the football immediately in the red zone and a scoring opportunity. If Tennessee does get it, which they did, which was very important, but Tennessee still had a long way to go to even be in a position to try for points. So it's a good thing that they got it, because I'm not sure the Vols win the game if they don't get it. I think that's how risky the move was, but they did get it, and Tennessee's able to move on and win. But I don't know what the explanation is for going there. I mean, the only thing I can think of, which you didn't really say, but sending a message to the team, we're going to go be aggressive, but there are better ways to do it than risk giving up the football. And again, the risk-reward thing, if Tennessee did get it, they ended up turning it over anyway, with Nico throwing the interception. But they're just if they're about to score, then that's one thing. You're trying to give yourself a chance to put some points on the board.
Right.
Getting it did not give Tennessee a chance to score. I don't know why they did that, but it did not cost Tennessee, and that's what's important after the fact.
I kind of interpreted Heupel's indirect answer as, "Hey, we needed to do something there." It sounded like
yeah, I would have punted. That's what I would have done. Right. I would have. The Tennessee's defense is terrific.
Yeah.
I know they weren't playing their best football to that point, and I get like they might have punted it away, and Florida could have scored, but
right.
Florida kept getting in its own way, which they did after they got the ball back. So I would have punted it after the fact. It, again, is no cost to Tennessee, but I would have punted without any question. I would have tried to draw them off sides.
Right.
I don't think that would have been a problem at all, but I would have punted the football away.
And he said he checked with Coach Banks. I mean, what's Tim Banks going to say? Yeah, we'll get your back. No, don't do it, Coach.
If I'm Tim Banks, I'd say punt it and we'll get it back to you in 3 plays. That's what I would say to him. Yeah.
Thanks for the offer, but we're good.
Yeah.
What about Nico? Because there's still a lot of angst about this offense, and there's a lot of things you could probably point to. Josh Heupel said it's more than just one thing, but how concerning is this offense right now outside of number 6?
Yeah, it's a concern.
Yeah.
I mean, the back-to-back first halves without a point is something I would not have predicted at all before the season. Maybe even being possible with Josh Heupel as the head coach. So it is a wake-up call. So yeah, Nico has to be better. I mean, he missed throws, made mistakes. The protection again in the first half especially was a disaster at times. So yeah, it's a big problem. What helps is that the defense is as good as it is. Not perfect, and I'm sure they're going to look at tape and find the areas where they could have been better, no doubt about that. But the defense continues to step up even when stressed, and that's a good thing for Tennessee. So now they turn the page to Alabama.
Right.
Alabama's trying to figure things out. Since halftime of the Georgia game, I don't know what's going on with the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
They could have absolutely lost that game against South Carolina, but they escaped and won the game, just like Tennessee was able to escape and win the game against Florida. Now they're going to play each other in a week, and they're going to do that at Neyland Stadium, and that's going to help. But Jalen Milroe is a good bit better than DJ Lagway. Lagway, I think, could be a really good player in the future.
Right.
But Milroe is at a different level than Lagway, and Tennessee will have to be ready for him. I have no doubt the defense will. They'll try to slow down Alabama's rushing attack, but Tennessee can't think that the offensive performance against Florida will be good enough to beat Alabama. Maybe it will, but I would go into the week thinking the offense needs to be better and put up more points and help the defense more than it has the last few weeks.
Yeah, should be plenty of motivation again to try to be better. Josh Heupel saying to Chris Budden in the post-game interview that, hey, last week we didn't play smart football. He said we played smarter. Like he said, we played smart. So maybe there's some baby steps to get there. Yeah. I think it's a long way to get to anything like we expected them to be offensive.
It helps to have Dylan Sampson.
Right.
He is spectacular.
Yeah.
Why I said I think he's the heart of this team in a lot of ways. He's a really good player. He has the vision you need. He has the playmaking ability. He's a runner. He's a receiver. The receivers. Squirrel White makes an impressive catch along the sideline. He's not playing at 100%. Brazel made what could have been a terrific catch.
Right.
They need more playmaking, but there's some opportunities there. Nico misses a couple of throws where the receivers had a chance. The deep ball to Squirrel White, I'd like to look again and see exactly what happened, because that could have been a completion, was not. But there's obviously a ton of room to grow, and they need to be better. But the crowd, by the way, the fans, they were terrific all the way throughout, even when it was ugly in the middle of the game.
Right.
The fans were terrific, and I know that Tennessee's fans will create a really good environment, just like they did 2 years ago when Bama's here next week.
Yeah. Florida, Alabama, full throat. There's no doubt about it. It will continue.
Yeah, atmosphere was terrific as expected in Neyland Stadium.
And no surprise, Josh Heupel starting his post-game press conference, thanking the fans for sure. So that'll do it from Neyland Stadium. Tennessee gets the win over Florida, 23-17. We'll have complete wrap-up Monday, all of our local shows, Sunday Sports Sound-Off with Jimmy Himes and Judge Tim Irwin as well. Appreciate you guys listening and watching, and we will talk to you soon here next weekend, Tennessee and Alabama. Enjoy this week of discussion.